Hi, I'm Caroline Mitchell, Canine behaviourist at Good Doggy. So a long time ago, dogs were way more full of resilience and confidence than they are now. I don't think we've ever had so many anxious and reactive dogs as what I get to see in my daily life. 20 odd years ago, when I first started doing this job, the behaviour problems I was dealing with were so different to what they are now. So why are our dogs so lacking in resilience now in comparison to the way they were all those years ago? So over the years, we have really changed the way that we breed our dogs. 20 or 30 years ago, dogs were selected to be bred because they were good at doing the job they were doing. They were bred for specific tasks. So different dogs have obviously different jobs that they're bred for. Retrievers are good at retrieving. We've got Yorkshire Terriers, which are good at ratting, and things like that. So the breeds of dog that have evolved over the years were originally bred because they could perform a job. And in order to be able to perform a job, that comes with a lot of confidence and resilience. Let's fast forward to now. And what we're looking for now in dogs more and more often is cuteness. So a dog that is quite cute, that will come and snuggle beside you, that wants to be on your lap, that wants to snuggle and lick and kiss and all those kinds of things. Those dogs people are loving as pets. But that level of cuteness, that level of clinginess is also associated with a lack of resilience and a lack of confidence. So the clingier and the more cozier a dog is, the less resilience they have. Cockapoos are probably the most obvious breed to talk about here because they lack so much resilience and confidence. I rarely meet a cockapoo that's got a lot of confidence. They all have issues with different kinds of anxiety, separation anxiety, maybe anxiety in different kinds of places or whatever. So they are a really, really tricky breed when it comes to stress and anxiety. They just, as a breed, don't cope well with it at all. And I think they're the worst one. But that's all about that coziness, because that's what we love, is those dogs that are very clingy. But of course, clinginess is separation anxiety. So they don't like to be away from us, and that causes a big problem for them. So the way that we breed our dogs has changed a lot. I think the training methods that we are using now has changed a lot compared to what we were doing 20 or 30 years ago. We're looking for cheap and quick fixes to problems rather than looking for a training solution as such. Punishment training methods seem to be being used more and more and more, and anything that relies on punishment is going to destroy confidence. And when we're starting with a dog which has less confidence to begin with and less resilience, then this is going to be even more of a problem. We spend less time actually trying to train our dogs, so we are relying more on tools rather than actually just putting the time and the work in, doing that teamwork. Teamwork builds confidence, it builds trust. But now we have things like we've got long lines, we've got enrichment toys. So we're changing the way that our dogs behave naturally, whereas once we might have took our dog to the park, we might have taught them a recall, we might have let them get off their lead, they might have socialized with other dogs, learned from other dogs as well. Now we're keeping them on the lead, so we're having to fill those kind of gaps that they're missing out on with enrichment toys. We are not training them to walk on their leads properly, they may be not getting enough exercise, so we're using tools to try and counteract all of that. Whereas once upon a time we would have just got a bag of treats out and taught our dogs to walk calmly on their leads. We probably would have given them a bit more exercise as well, so that would have also helped to reduce excess energy that they might have that is being burnt off when they're being stuck on the lead. We certainly didn't have problems with frustration, and frustration is often being caused by use of tools like leads and crates when dogs are much more content and easier when they are off the lead and they are able to make their own decisions some of the time. So that's changed a lot. I just talked a little bit there about socialization, and this is really important too, because more and more often now, dogs are not being allowed to socialize with other dogs. There's lots and lots of reasons for this. But even just the other day, I was out doing a training session with a dog. We were looking for dogs to socialize. And anytime anybody saw us coming towards them, they put their dogs on the lead and they took them away. And the reason a lot of the time for this is because they're concerned about how the other person is going to react, because there's been so much politics in parks between people and so much negative interaction when one dog has walked up to another one. And this is not the time to debate for that. But the bottom line of it is that our dogs are socializing with each other less and less, which means that they are not learning really valuable skills from each other. They're not playing with each other. So when they are playing, they are learning important things, like they're learning hunting skills and fighting skills and communication skills. And when they learn these through play, that play hop that they do before they start to play with each other basically is reassurance for the other dog. We're just in play now. All the rules are out the window, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm not here to hurt you, but I'm going to pretend. I'm going to pretend to chase you. I'm going to pretend to fight with you. And all of these really important skills, they're going to practice and learn with each other. So if they ever need them in real life, they've already done all of this like work in the background, and they can help themselves. And that brings with it a huge amount of confidence. Having the confidence to know that you can handle any situation because you've rehearsed it and practiced it with your mates is so important. And that is a massive contributor towards resilience. So that's really important. And if you've got a dog that's very anxious and not socializing well with other dogs, then this is a spiral that's going in the wrong direction. And our relationships matter. So feeling supported and secure with the people that they're with is a huge contributor to building up resilience and confidence. Knowing the support you have from those around you is so important, and it gives you a much bigger boost of confidence to explore and to try things and to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So when you're learning new things, you'll try stuff because you feel safe and secure to do that. But more and more often, this is not happening because we are pushing our dogs too fast. We're expecting them to do too much, and we're allowing them to make mistakes. And we could really be helping them to avoid that. We don't really want our dogs to be to making mistakes. We don't want to set them up to fail. A few weeks ago, I was out just for a walk on my own, and there was a lady there with her French bulldog terrier, and she was at the side of a lake, and there was some swans in the lake. They had the little ones with them, so we're going back a wee bit. And her dog was on an extendable lead, and the dog went towards the swan, and the big swan there was getting a bit agitated. And what she said was, she told me that she thought her dog was stupid, that he will never learn, he shouldn't go near the wildlife. But yet what she could have done is just taken her dog away from that situation, but she was going to allow her dog to fail because he didn't know what to expect from that swan. That swan could have done anything to him. If that swan had charged at him, you know, it's no good blaming the dog and saying, well, you were stupid for going near the swan. How does the dog know he shouldn't go near a swan? So we need to be taking that on and actually supporting them and helping them make good choices. So start of all, we have dogs that weren't really bred to be resilient. They were bred to be cute and clingy. So already we've got less confidence and resilience. Then the training methods we're using are not boosting confidence and resilience either. We are looking for unnatural ways to meet our puppies and dogs' needs through toys that we're buying and enrichment tools, when actually the world is a hugely enrichment place. And we're not giving them that opportunity to learn and build confidence with other dogs, and especially when they're younger. But there's no age limit to learning this stuff. So there's a whole big kind of contributing factor. By the time we get to an adult dog, then what resilience they did have has been depleted, and then they're going to go on to breed. And then the next generation of dogs are going to start with even lower levels of resilience. And I see that this is a trend that's going to continue over, well, as long as we keep on doing the same stuff that we're doing now. Anyway, just my thoughts about resilience and confidence and why today's dogs are not coping in the world in the same way that our dogs used to 20 or 30 years ago. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye-bye.